Check one, two, check one, two. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. If you can, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you can hear me, and we'll get this thing on and popping. I'm really excited to get into this interview with a man that I met about a week and a half ago, about maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I've been watching uh, do his thing with this thing called shop culture. It's the talk of the town. 2022. The first thing that I seen once I started this year was shop culture. What shop culture? We're gonna find out today, and so I'm excited to bring something new and fresh to everybody. And so welcome. We're gonna be welcoming Barry Crosby Jr. To this interview today, and we're going to talk about his life, how this all became a thing for him, and what he's been doing outside of shop culture. Toto had a couple tricks up my sleeve, and as y'all know, I usually do. So don't be surprised if you get some curveballs during this interview. But I'm really excited to have him here, and sharing his thoughts and his aspirations of what this shop culture thing is. And I really am excited because I've been watching it ever since the first time I seen it. Every Tuesday, I'm on there watching it closely, and it's a great watch. If you guys have not checked out Shop Culture Live, make sure you guys look it up and download, jump on the page. It's a hot thing. It's going down. So first off, before we bring him on, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. Obviously, first and foremost, I got to give a shout out to iShotcha.com. If anybody locally is looking for pictures, whether it's weddings, graduations, just headshots for professional photos, which last night I got in contact, one of my friends hit me up and was like, yo, I need some professional photos. Who do I go to? You hit up iShotcha.com. My guy, Marvin Patterson, he will get you done. As y'all can see those pictures right there, me and my family. He took those pictures for me and all the pictures in my house. So hit up iShotcha.com if you're looking for a great deal on some pictures. He'll go exactly where you're at and at a reasonable price. So hit him up. Icon ENT, shout out to my guy, Junior Thomas. Thank you so much for continuing to support the Circle and everything Circle. He has plans for this year, but there's been a lot of COVID talk. And so he's kind of pushing back a few things that he had in the lineup. And we're going to work those back in. Coming soon, summertime, you'll see a lot more movement from Icon ENT. Last but not least, want to give a huge shout out to Miss Zakia. You all know what it is, the Chaya movement. The Chaya movement. And if you guys are looking for great wardrobe at a reasonable price, she turns all your rags into riches and then gives them back at a reasonable price. So hit up the Chaya movement for anything that has to do with designer clothing and not designer clothing, just something that's cheap and affordable for everyone. Also, for those that are looking for something to do, February 14th, there is an event going on at gosh, I'm so sorry, Zakia. I know she's gonna get me for this. It's at the Blue Note Lounge in Lakewood. It's called Sip Tip and something with love. I can't remember. She's gonna kill me, y'all. But I love you, sister. February 14th, if you guys are looking for something to do, the Blue Note Lounge is going down with the Chaya movement. They got a great event that they're going to be doing. There's going to be some painting. There's going to be some sipping of your fresh bubbly, and wining and dining with your significant other. So that is coming up February 14th. So real quick before we bring them on, I just want to show you guys something I got on today. I actually got a shirt from the locals shop. It's a locally owned clothing shop where you can go and put your clothing in there. You can get yourself some local artist stuff. I want to give a huge shout out to a couple guys that I know that are actually involved in that. My guy Deshaun Willis. If you guys don't know Deshaun, he's been doing a lot of amazing things with the Hustle Vet wardrobe, Hustle Everything. He was actually involved in this year's New Year's Eve party that I went to. He was a big part of that. He's got his wardrobe in there. You got all kinds of amazing wardrobe at a reasonable price. So go ahead and check out the locals and get your freshest local gear. Also, while I was there, I ran into a friend across the street, and I went into Intentions smoothie, juice and smoothie bar. If you guys are looking for some healthy smoothies at a reasonable price, check out Intentions. Both of these are on 56 and South Tacoma Way if you're locally around in this area. Both great places that are doing amazing things. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into the reason why we're all here. So why don't everybody just go ahead and welcome Barry Crosby Jr. to the building. Can you hear me okay?
I got you, brother. How you living, man?
Man, just staying busy, staying active, and
Yeah.
just trying to continue to highlight amazing people doing amazing things. And you actually got something happening, man. Like, and I've been doing obviously this little podcast that I've got for about a year, and
Hmm.
as soon as I seen what you had going on and seen the way that people just on Facebook, because I know y'all been doing it a little bit longer than
Yeah.
I've seen it, but I seen it in January, and the amount of growth that you guys have made in this month is just it's an amazing thing, and I love the topics of choices that you guys are jumping into. There you guys don't really shy away from much, and it's a great watch, and people are very interested and excited about it. So thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of Shop Culture. I came out to the meet and greet, and,
Yes, you
and
did.
everybody that was there, they was all amazing and very invited, and made me feel right at home with the Shop Culture crew. So shout out to all of you guys that were there that day. It was an amazing event. And yeah, man, let's get into you though. I can talk for days,
No, no,
but
no.
let's get into you, bro. How this whole Shop Culture thing start? Let's just jump into it.
Actually, it started shop culture. Particularly started 2019 is when we started the shop culture group.
Mhm.
And at that time, it was just a different format. And
Mhm.
actually, that format, it was a lot of stuff going on, as you remember, in 2019. And
Yeah, yeah.
um, we actually had a panel. It was two guys, two women on there, and so it was a little bit different.
Mhm.
But it just was. I just felt like it had a shelf life um, at a particular time. I just think that we were going into topics such as racism,
Mhm.
politics, and things of that sort. And I just feel like you already have enough of that in the
Yeah,
world, right?
yeah.
And I think I was always kind of more intrigued about relationships. I've been fortunate enough. I've been a barber. I own a barber shop now for almost 23 years.
Wow.
And when I'm dealing with clients, which are mostly men, what we talk about relationships,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
just dominates the conversation. And so I wanted to kind of take what we talk about and showcase it and talk
Mhm.
about it from men perspective. And
Absolutely.
that's what we want to create with shop culture.
Mhm.
And so like I said, we had that portion going, and then shop culture. Also, we discussed barbering because that's what my trade is. And
Yeah.
me and my guy actually at that time was Herb the barber. You might know
Hey.
Herb the barber out
Oh
there in
yeah, I know
Tucson.
Herb very well. Shout out
That's
to
my
Herb.
guy.
I've been trying to get him on for a minute.
We're gonna get him on. All right, that's all
Yeah,
you had to tell me. We're gonna get Herb the barber on.
it's a
Great
good
guy.
guy.
And a big influence on my life, especially in the barber industry. I mean,
Mhm.
that's the OG of the
The
game.
premier.
And
He's
yeah, just
from way
so
back.
deep with information and knowledge. And we had him going, and we were talking about the barber, and this was during kind of moved over toward the COVID, and we
Yeah,
were
yeah,
growing in. And it's just like I said, I just think that at that time I always wanted to kind of come back to the relationships because I just think that they're so important. And relationships, not just intimate relationships. I'm talking about relationships with just friends, just work relationships, just general relationships.
yeah.
Relationships are so broad based from men
Absolutely.
perspective, and it actually got me in trouble doing it from men perspective because, as you know, with the group we get a lot of stuff on there. So, and that's where we're at
Absolutely.
now, and that's kind of fast forward to where we're at now. So,
Yeah, because I actually did a rewind, but and went back to your first post from uh I think it was 2019, and when you guys first started, it just had a 30-second like 30-second start, and it was I think it was you and
Terry, my guy Terry
You and
Youngman.
Gary. Yeah,
Shout
you
out to
and Gary.
Terry, man, who was a phenomenal host. And actually, I learned a lot from him on hosting. And because initially when we started, I wasn't going to be in front of the camera. I don't
Mhm.
particularly like to be in front of the camera. It's not really something I enjoy doing.
Yeah,
But at
yeah.
that particular time, it was just we had a good chemistry going. So we just kind of kept it moving and saying, and that's I always say in life, you never know what life takes you, right? Saying you
Right.
always can have this point of where you want to go, but then you're like, you deviate from it, but it's a good deviation. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So, so what's next? What you guys got coming up next with it? I mean, because it's definitely got a nice little charge going. You guys gonna continue staying the same route, or you guys have anything else in line for us to look forward to?
well, we expanded to the women's side of things.
Yeah,
I was fighting it for a long period of time because I was like,
mhm,
man, we're gonna keep this men. But then
yeah,
if you look on our group, we're probably about 60% women on our group, and
yeah.
every time we have any type of, I say, discussion point, you need to have women. It's always that
Got
that
to,
that
got
women
to.
energy, right?
Yeah,
Which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. So we created Shop Culture Supreme. Shout out to my girl, excuse me, Carmen, is coming aboard, and I'm really looking forward to that because it's different. It's going to be a different energy. They're going to attack topics, but they're going to come from a different perspective, which is from the women perspective, which I think is needed. I think a lot of times we're trying to understand women without asking women. So we need to ask women, right, about
yeah.
women. So it
Absolutely.
it, it, it works out well, and I'm really looking forward to it. And they're working hard. And shout out to Carmen and Julie Girl Photography, man. So who
Yeah,
put me and you together. So shout out to
yeah,
her, man. She's
yeah.
been a big influence
Absolutely.
on the movement in the group. So I'm so happy and excited. And also my girl Deanna is going to be on it. So
Yeah, yeah.
we got a lot of different elements in there, and I'm really looking forward to it. I believe the launching date is February 7th, so make sure you guys check that out. So Shop
Absolutely,
Culture
absolutely.
Supreme.
So I know we had talked about possibly um, getting together. I would definitely love to have an opportunity to come on and just sit down and chop it up with you and Toom and the crew. Uh, I haven't really decided exactly what we were going to talk about, but I know you got something in mind for us coming up.
Oh, yeah, but I ain't gonna say it today. I was thinking about this actually a couple of days ago, and that's another thing. Topics, it's crazy because topics really come at you in different times and different.
Yeah,
I mean, there's times I wake up at night, and I'm like, that'd be a good topic, or I'll have a conversation and I'll stop the conversation. That's a good topic.
yeah, yeah.
And yes, yeah, I got something for you.
All
R
right. Well,
and B. I call you R&B.
a lot of people call me everything, but R&B is one of
I
those
like it,
one
man.
of
I heard
those.
you can blow. I heard you can blow though.
Oh no, man, I'm just I just do a little something, something, nothing too over the top.
Well, it's funny. Like today, I had the R&B cuts going today because I know I was gonna be on today. I was like, he's R&B. I gotta get my R&B flavor going.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, I was trying to sing. People were like looking at me like, "Hey, you need to stop singing." But hey, it was all good, bro. It worked
Okay,
out.
so let's jump into your family, man. The family life.
Okay.
You got a family and all that?
I do have a family. I
Okay,
have a
okay,
son. I have a 14-year-old son,
okay.
um, freshman at Kent Ridge.
All
And
right.
then
All
my
right.
parents are still in the area. I'm blessed to still have them. They're still,
That's cool.
with us, and they're making it.
Yeah.
And then I have a sister who's here too.
So you was
So
you're originally from here then?
I'm originally from California. I was actually born in Sacramento, and then
Okay,
San
okay.
Francisco, and then here. So yes.
So how was it coming up in Sacramento? How was you as a child, all that? Let's
Too
dig
young, a
into that.
little too young. I mean, I call really Tukwila my home. That's my adopted home, and that's really where I pitched my fork at. And Tukwila was fun. I mean, it was fine. When I lived there, it wasn't too many people of color, so
Mhm.
that was always a transition. But
Yeah.
I think it helped me understand and how to maneuver in different situations really well. I had to say I was treated well, and I always say it's just kind of how you come across. I think is kind of the key to interacting with people. If
Mhm.
your energy is solid and good, I think that's for the most part, not every single time, for the most part, people will match your energy. I think so.
And you said your son is 14 or 15?
14.
14. I got a daughter that's 13.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna throw this at you because this is fresh. This is new. She called me this morning, and so I'm gonna throw it at you. My daughter, she told me, that she was going to a funeral, and I was like, "Who are you going to a funeral for?" She's like, "Oh, one of my friends,
Hmm.
one of my friends." And she doesn't know this. She's in the other room actually, but I did some research, and her friend OD'd on some laced weed.
Mm.
How do you have a conversation with your son about, or have you already had this conversation about, drugs, alcohol, even weed, even though it's legally, it's legal here? Have you talked to him? Have you had that conversation? What did that sound like when you had that conversation with your son?
He knows my stance. We talk about that actually quite often.
Hmm.
I'm a no go on it.
Hmm.
Um, I think that as parents, we have to be stern in our approach. I
Hmm.
know my approach is not uh, in today's times a little different.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of times I think parents want to be friends with their children, and I
Yeah.
believe it's time and place for that. I grew up with tough. My dad was tough.
Yeah.
He was fair but tough. Same with
Right.
my mother. So there's just certain things that you didn't do.
Mm.
Um, and I try to be a little bit different with my son. His name is Barry. We call him Little B.
Okay.
And when it comes to that, it's a no go. But I want to also be able to have conversation and dialogue because kids will shut you out if you
Oh
just
yeah.
kind of berate them. And
Hmm.
so we actually talked about this actually about a week and a half ago. We were just talking about just weed in general. And I don't
Yeah.
know if he was testing me, but it was kind of funny. He's like, "Hey, Dad, was weed legal back then?" I'm like, "No, it wasn't. So you don't need to do it now." But
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're having some type of anxiety or there's something going on, talk. Let's talk. Let's figure this out. But
Absolutely.
yeah, the drugs. I just I mean, I'm pretty sure you might feel the same way. Just
Oh
when
yeah.
it comes to that, you
Oh
just
yeah.
got to be stern on it.
Absolutely. It's such a huge thing now. Um, it's like you said, the raising your kids differently. It's way different than it was back in the day when we were being raised. It's like you said, you had a pretty great upbringing, but they were also stern at the same time. My family, my mom, she was heavy on the sternness. She was church going lady. She
Hmm.
stayed at us.
I
You
say
know,
away, bro.
um,
Say away.
regardless of all the things that were going on outside of our home, my mom, she was always on us. She loved us to death, but she wanted to make sure that we knew the difference between right
Right
and
or
wrong.
wrong.
And so I mean, after that, she said, "Good luck." uh, you know the world is yours, but this is how you should think about doing things, before you actually jump in there, because once you jump in there, you're on
Yeah,
your own.
bro,
That's how my
bro.
mom was. She's like, good luck to you.
Yeah.
um
And my parents were
so
older when they had me too. So I mean, that
oh,
it
your
was
parents were older?
yeah. So it was
Okay.
just a different vibe. I mean, it was my parents. My father just had a birthday.
Yeah.
And he's 90. So he's
Wow.
lived a great life and able to instill just a certain lifestyle that he wanted me to achieve and follow. And I was
Yeah.
able to hopefully do that, but it was just different. I always tell my son, I said, man, you have it a lot different than I mean, it's just
Yeah.
night
Yeah.
and day.
Yeah.
So
I'm the same way, man. I tell them all the time, you guys got it way good. Like,
bro,
you ever think about talking back to my dad? Oh
my
man.
goodness.
You going across your face. What'd you say?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, he was gonna catch one. It was
absolutely.
all way different.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays you can't do that kind of thing. It's not legal. I mean, not that I would hit my kids anyway, but shoot, we got whooped for
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Everything.
Well, it was
Anything
funny
they
because
can get their hands on.
well, it's crazy because my son's mother, me and her were going, we were just having like a discussion, and she's like,
Yeah,
you never spanked our son, and I'm sitting here like I spanked him twice, and I had to really think about when I did spank him, simply
yeah,
because I'm kind of against the spanking. You should
yeah.
do it, but I'm just kind of like I said against it.
Right.
So I had to think about it. I think I only spanked my son once, and I was like, bro, you do got it good because I got man, I remember.
Yeah.
The spankings I got. Like I can still remember them at 40 some years old.
Yep.
Like 5 particular spankings I got, and I deserved it. I mean,
Hey, my son is 4 years old, and
Oh wow.
oh
Woo.
my gosh, he's a load. He's a load, but
I don't have the energy, bro. I'm out of the baby making business, bro.
that's the great thing about him being so young and being so energetic is it makes me want to work harder to stay relevant. I don't
For
want to
sure.
be laying in bed when he's out playing and shooting ball and wanting to throw some football and play catch. I want to be able to be out there and run with him. You feel me?
Oh,
Like, and so for me, he
yeah.
pushes me every day, man. Like even today, we went for a walk down the street and we just walked to the store to get a couple things from the store. He's like wanting to run. He don't want to walk. He
Yep.
want to run. But it's an opportunity for him to see like, yo, we went from him being in a stroller and dad running to
Hmm.
him actually getting out there and exercising. This is a form of exercise, son. You may not want to do it, but it actually works. For me, I'm older, my back is hurting. But I'm just saying, my back is hurting, but
You sound
this
like me.
still works.
Yeah, you
This
sound
is
like me.
still
I'd
a
be like
form of exercise.
every
Huh?
big complaint. I said, you sound like me. I'm always complaining like, hey, because my
Man.
son, we be trying to hoop, and I mean, listen, I be cheating. I do, but I won't never admit it to him. But yeah,
Yeah.
you feel
Yeah. Yeah.
everything. But
I
the
do
important thing
everything
that
in my
you're
power
doing,
to
you're
I do
spending.
every huh?
I said you're spending time with him, and that's so
Absolutely.
important. So props to
You
you on
know,
that.
trying to teach him every little thing about life. He's just got so much energy and so much, vibrance and and wanting to do everything. It's amazing to watch. My daughters were never really about that life. My
Hmm.
daughters were kind of, they were girls. They were very, very,
It's
feminine, and
different.
they
It's
like
different
to
with boys.
hang out together with their sisters, and
Hmm.
sports wasn't really the thing. Now
Okay.
my boy ain't quite got there yet, but he loves to go outside and throw the ball and play catch and all that. And so I'm like, I'm excited for what's to come with him. But hey, it's all good. So let me ask you about something. Last week,
Okay.
uh, as you remember, we talked about race.
Yes.
Throw that at you.
Sure.
So if you could say anything about what happened to my friend's son, what would you say him if he was watching you right now?
It was a terrible, and I thought that I loved the support that the community got behind that young man and
Yeah.
his father. I thought it was awesome. Um, I didn't like the response from the administration. I thought it
Mhm.
wasn't enough at all. We
Absolutely.
need to do better, and something called accountability
Yes.
needs to be stricter and more stern. Because for that young, or actually the whole student body there, to think that that was okay, that's a problem,
Yeah.
and that's a
Absolutely.
big issue.
Absolutely.
And I don't like I said, watching it, and I even had a few comments from some people like, well, that's what they do, that's what kids do, and well, you know, uh, black people they use the N word too. That's no, not good enough. No,
No.
and I loved, and I will stand by it. What we seen from the community was well deserved and well
Absolutely.
respected. So shout out to everybody involved with that. Um,
Absolutely.
and
And
you
if
by
anybody
having that. Huh? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, if anybody was watching, Barry was supposed to be a part of the conversation, but he had something come up. He couldn't make it. He was in there, but then he had something come up, so he
I
had to
wanted to so
jump out.
bad, and I had a client that was actually going to a wedding, and he's like, "Bro, I just need to get." That's the thing about barbering.
Yeah,
You get the last minute right on
yeah,
everything. Everybody has. Oh man, you got to do it. So I missed it, and I wanted to be on, but it was
yeah.
an incredible panel, and I watched it. So
I respect. I already knew. I knew you was like mid work, and that it would be a quick in and out. And so I was just happy that you actually agreed to do it. And I knew we would have this conversation anyway. So yeah, thank you for that. Um, so what's next though? Like I really enjoy um what's happening with you guys. And I know that you have the women coming up. You guys got any plans for a new meet and greet?
We do.
Something else you want to add to Shop Culture? What's the deal with it?
Um, and it's crazy because now I think we were talking off air last night, and I was telling you it's like now I'm getting these you know
Yeah,
calls about interviews and
yeah.
Shop Culture, and what's next, and I'm really enjoying the moment, and I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself
Mm.
because then you stop enjoying it. I get somebody asked me, do I enjoy this? And I do, but there's a lot that you don't enjoy, because you get the
Right.
blunt of everything. The criticism, because when the group grows, there's a lot of haters, a lot of criticism goes on with that, and you have to be
Absolutely.
okay with accepting the criticism. And so moving forward, like I said, we have meet and greets coming up. That's going to be coming up. Actually, I think we're going to do one in March.
Okay.
Talking to a guy about maybe doing a boat party. So we got a few things. I was thinking about maybe doing like a form of a adult prom. Um, I think with this group, what I'm finding out is this group they like to meet. They like to be, they want to know who's behind the keyboard. That's very important. It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's this dynamic that's growing, and so we have to be able to provide that.
yeah.
So under kind of the Shop Culture brand, yeah, we intend to really kind of move forward in trying to meet people's demands to meet one another. So I'm actually looking forward to that. That meet and greet was fun.
It was
I
it was
actually,
it was it
bro,
was very. I had a great time, and the most interesting thing about it was, I mean, obviously we met and that was cool, but I ran
I
into
seen you
someone.
dancing. I seen you
Huh?
dancing. RB, I
Well,
seen
no,
you dancing.
man.
I
I
seen
didn't do
you up
no
and
dancing.
stepping.
I stayed away from I stayed away from the dance floor. It was crazy over there. I seen
Oh
y'all.
man,
I was like,
uh,
no, I'm
yeah,
good.
it was getting active.
But it was fun though. I had a blast. Like I said, I ran into some old friends that I haven't seen since high school. 20, 22, 23 years. I haven't seen Tiffany. Me and Tiffany go way back. I actually stayed with her when I was, when I ran away from home. That's who I stayed with. And
That's
so
crazy.
yeah, like, and to see that she's doing well and got her own business, clothing line and all this and that was an amazing thing to actually get and to just. I know you. Remember, she walked up on us when we were meeting each other and was like, David. And I didn't know who she
Well,
was.
what's funny is I thought you guys were like together because the way she kind of came up. I was like, oh snap, but it was she was just like surprised and happy to see you because it's been a while. So
Yeah, I didn't even know who she was. I was like, you don't know who I am? I'm like, no.
so,
I haven't seen you in 18, 19, 20 years. I'm sorry. I couldn't remember the face. It was a long time ago. She's definitely a different person, and so am I. So that was cool.
it was
Um,
it was because you have to remember that was actually our third try at it. We had
yeah,
like the worst luck.
right.
We were gonna have it, then the snow came. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then we had
Absolutely.
a situation for the first time, and the first time we were expecting about 250 people,
Yeah.
and it was just oh. I was like, what more can go wrong? And the third time, I'm like, we're just gonna do it. It was
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
and
Just
so
go ahead and see what happens. You
we
know what
had
I'm
to,
saying?
yeah, put it out there, and the pictures were phenomenal. And it's just, even though we did have a situation, now you heard about the situation.
No, I kind of heard about it, but
Oh my God, I was, hey, it was active. If you're not part of Shop Culture, go and look at the show, follow the meet and greet, and you'll see everything that happened. It was crazy.
oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. I won't,
You
I
know what
won't,
happened?
I won't spill the beans too much,
No,
but
I ain't gonna spill
somebody
it.
did something and they shouldn't have been doing something because that person was with somebody and all that. It's
Hey,
shop culture talk. I mean, it is
bro,
what it
listen, man.
is.
And
You know?
what's crazy? Just the other day, true story. I always go to this Fred Meyer
Yeah.
up by my house, and so I'm in there, and I have a mask on. The woman behind me says, "I know you. You're Shop Culture." I was like, "No," and I knew it was going to come next. You're the one
That's
that had did all
crazy.
those memes talking bad about women. It
Yeah.
was like that's, and I knew that was. I could tell by her body language, the shoulder
Yeah.
movement.
Yeah. She
Like,
wasn't saying I know you in a positive
not in a
manner.
positive way. She goes, me and my daughter, you're not our favorite on there. I like to shut down corner, but I like you.
Hey,
I
how
said,
you
well,
and Toom,
I hear
hey,
that.
how you and Toom end up meeting together though? That's something that I did. I mean, how'd you guys end up linking up?
Well, that's the thing. First of all, you got to have a team,
Yeah.
and your team has got to be strong. And I've been fortunate from the people I've been surrounded, shop culture wise, that everybody's been just phenomenal in terms of the support. From you got the Doc, you got Nick Jones,
Yeah.
and then you got the shutdown corner. And the shutdown corner, I've been knowing him for years.
That's
And what's crazy about it is, he'll tell you this. I've been telling him for years, man. I think you have something. I really think this brother got it.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. And I've been trying to get him on the show. We were kind of going back and forth for years, and finally, it's just the timing. It's always about timing.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
And the timing was right. And we had a first show, and I was dying because he's raw and he's blunt. And I think that's what shop culture basically is, because we're telling a story from a male perspective.
Absolutely.
You might not like it, you might not want to hear it, but that's what it is. Unadulterated male perspective. And Toom is going to tell it to you like that. And I like it. That's the most important thing, right?
Yeah. Actually, I do have a story about the meet and greet. Like
Tell me.
I mean, it ain't much. It's just a little something. I just went around and me, I before I actually started to get comfortable, I always do a short little interview letting everybody know, hey, I'm out here. If you guys want to come through. I don't know if you've seen that one I did. I just kind of
see it.
Yeah, I did a little intro vid saying, hey, I'm here at the Shop Culture meet and greet. We're here at Central Pub. Come on through. We're gonna walk inside and see what's going on. And so I did that walkthrough. Actually, yeah, because you ended up talking at the end of it.
Oh, you know what? I don't think I've seen it. I think I might have seen it. It was so much stuff going on, bro.
Yeah, you was busy. You was busy. Hey, but hey, like I talked to everyone except him. Except him. He's the only one I didn't talk to. Well, I went to him eventually once everybody started surrounding him. Like all the ladies started surrounding him. I was like, well, let me just go say hello real quick. And then I finally said what's up to him. And, he was in deep conversation with these two ladies on his side at the bar. And I was just like, all right, man, nice to meet you. Kept it pushing.
He's living his best life. That's what we,
Hey, but he's got that intimidation factor about him. Even, at his stature, he's still, hey, I don't.
Man. You asked how we met. Well, initially we met because I recruited him. I had a flag football team I sponsored.
Oh, yeah?
And initially, he was on the team. I needed a corner. That's why I gave him the nickname Shutdown Corner.
Yeah.
I put the wide receiver, the best player on the other team, Toom, you guarded. I didn't have to guard it.
And he put him down. Shut him all the way down.
It was all good. So
that's cool.
That's how we do it. That's how we're doing this. So it's all good.
Well, shoot, man. Hey, I do appreciate you having this moment of conversation with me, man. Like, I think I really do think you guys have an amazing thing going on over there. And, like I faithfully watch it. Sometimes I get busy at work, but I faithfully got my earpiece in listening to the conversations. Some of them get heavy and hard, but they're real and it's unfiltered and that's what I'm all about. I'm all about unfiltering the truth and I've had a couple moments where you guys have talked about something that really hit me, in a place.
I've seen that. I've seen a couple comments and it's crazy because your name sometimes doesn't appear on there because we start getting a lot of comments.
Right.
But it was a couple of it I wanted to kind of, talk to you about because I could see that it was some depth there. And you wanted to kind of expand, but we couldn't get back to it kind of.
Yeah.
Do you remember which one those were?
Oh man, there was a few of them.
Too many?
There was a few of them. Few. I mean, I got a story. You know what I'm saying? When you have a story with so many layers, you guys touch on a lot of things that I went through. Obviously, relationships is a huge thing.
Oh my
Um,
God.
yeah,
Woo! Bro, I tell you,
relationships.
shop
Yeah,
culture, having a relationship, it having like a platform where you talk about relationships, it doesn't work. It doesn't. I'm just gonna be honest. It
yeah.
doesn't. So it's like swimming upstream. It's just like
Well,
it's just difficult. It really is because um, you're around a lot of different people, and then you're around
mhm.
the opposite sex.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So people are hitting you up about that, and you're talking from a. I think sometimes people think that you somewhat have things figured out. You really don't. That's why we're asking the questions. If we knew what was going on, you think I'd be on doing shop culture? Probably wouldn't. You
Right.
don't.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
relationships are like that, especially from the male perspective, where it is just difficult to understand women. It really is. I mean, we try, we lie to ourselves and think we are. We don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Logically, it's just like I'm lost. you know, I mean, it's the
Yeah.
reality of it, right?
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I always say it's the blind leading the blind. Because when they're asking me, I'm like, shoot, hey, you might not want to ask me. I'm I'm
No.
not no relationship
No,
guru. Trust me.
no, and that's why I find it very interesting watching it because I'm just like you. Like I'm actually um
Oh, talk to me.
I'm just saying I'm at the very beginning of trying to actually understand women because I've always been in a position where there's always been plentiful options, and instead of me thinking about their emotions, I've always thought about other things, others outside of emotion, and so
What do you mean? Other things like
you
what?
know what I mean. You know
No,
what I mean. Like who I want to take home, or
oh, okay.
you
You talk
know
real. That's
that
real.
type of thing. You know what I'm saying? You guys jumped into that one week. You guys got into that, um, like, uh, gosh, what was it called? I cannot remember. But I think you guys were talking about either cheaters or, I mean, man, you guys had some
Men
some,
don't cheat. Men don't cheat.
and I heard that, but then I was like, man, then what is it I've been doing all these years? Because I've heard that plenty of times, and
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you
sure,
a question, Dave.
sure.
Me and this guy got in today, and it's probably a messed up question, but I'm going to ask you: Who you think is a better cheater, men or women?
R&B singers, so it don't matter. R&B singers, they're the
Wow.
best. They're the best because all they talk about is love, and for me, and this is just my personal opinion because I've been there, but
Mm-hmm.
but I just find it. Oof, I really shouldn't be talking about this.
No, you should. It's just me and
um,
you having a conversation.
I feel like because women want love so much, they want to be loved so often. Um, when an R&B singer is on stage, they fall in love with the songs, the words, not necessarily the person, but the words, the songs, not necessarily the vocals even. I mean, it could be a
Some on the
beautiful.
vocals, some because the vocals. Luther was about vocals. Luther had vocals and he had the voice. So I think the voice plays a big role in that too. But I feel what you're saying.
It could definitely, because I mean, you got to think about people like Chris Brown. Chris Brown is an amazing singer, but sometimes if you hear what he's talking about in some of his songs, it's not. It has nothing to do with love. I mean, he's like a, a new age R&B singer versus people like Usher would be more considered an old age R&B singer. Like I'm more of an Usher type of cat.
Bro, I wasn't a big Usher fan. I went to go see him in Vegas.
Hmm.
He killed it. I'm an Usher fan. Like it was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
most phenomenal mix of what you're saying, that R&B swag with some hip hop. It was just so I understand what you're saying, and you're
I
right.
just feel, I just feel like if you're singing about love, and you're a male, you're gonna win
You're
every
winning.
time. You're gonna
You're
win.
winning.
You're gonna win every time. Like and I never knew what love was. I never really um had a relationship where I felt like me and the person I was with was the last one. I never,
Oh,
I
oh,
can't
that's
even
deep.
say that because
Are they
my
watching?
mind has always been on what's next. Who am I
Wow.
hanging out? Who am I gonna be hanging out with after the show? Like it's kind of, I mean, it's the truth. Like we talked about this already.
I know, but it's good to
Like
hear.
I was one of those guys. Like I had a father that was around, but even my dad was a cheater. Like my dad
Yeah.
was hanging out with chicks, and I seen that as a young man. And then
Mm-hmm.
I got into an age where I got my first girlfriend, and she didn't want to be with me, so she left me. And so I was like, oh, I was hurt by that. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get them back. And instead of sucking it up and keeping it pushing, I became that person that I told myself I never would be. Like my dad has always been a tough part of my life, because he's always been the person that I've always been a daddy's guy, daddy's
Mm-hmm.
boy, daddy's boy, but my dad was never around. So it's really hard to put it together. My mom, she's my all. I ride or die for my mom. But
Uh-huh.
my dad was somebody that I wanted to be like, even though my dad was in jail, my dad was abusive, my dad was a drunk, he was a cheater, like he was all the
He's still
things,
your dad, though, bro.
all
Still
the
your
things I
father.
never wanted to be. But
Yep.
at the end of the day, like that was my dad. Like my dad tried to kill me, bro. Like and just think about it. This is the guy that I would lay my life down for, my pops. And to actually watch him with his hands around my throat trying to kill me,
Yeah.
it's crazy. That's my guy. I want to be
Yep.
like him.
Yep.
So I end up kind of taking some of his. I think that would be the one thing that I say I got from my dad is cheating. I've seen him with different women, and so when I went to his house when my mom and dad separated for a while, I was at his house. He had women over at his house all the time, different women, and so
Yeah.
I ended up being that same guy. I fell in love with one, and then she cheated on me, and so I'm just like, well, I guess this is the way things are supposed to be, I guess. So let me just go ahead and do it. And then I started doing music. And it got worse.
Yeah. And you can sing too, Dave. Oh my goodness, you killing them over there, right,
It
man,
was
bro?
it was just it took me a while to grow out of that whole idea that this is how life is supposed to be. Like, yeah, I seen the Cosby Show, I seen Leave It to Beaver when I was a kid, stuff like that, that showed us these picket fences and the
Yeah.
perfect family. I never had that. I never even seen anything like that before coming up. So I mean, I knew it was TV, something for TV. It wasn't something I got because I don't
Mhm.
see that around my house. I see my brothers fighting my dad. I see my mom getting abused by my dad. That's all I
Oof.
ever know. That's
Yeah.
all I've ever known. So I mean, for me, like I'm not blaming my dad for any of the choices that I made. Because I know at the end of the day it's me.
Hmm.
But I just feel like, man, whew,
Let it out, bro. Let it
when
out.
I was doing music, there was always at least, and I tell this story all the time. When I was doing music, there was always at least 3 or 4 girls waiting for me at the end of the night, whether I had a girlfriend or not.
Man.
And that's the truth. I mean, and I didn't have to choose temptation, but I
Hmm.
did. But I did.
Hey,
You
Dave, you
know,
sound like the barber groupies. We got barbers. We got. Hey, we don't have three or four. We got one or two. But hey, it's still.
no, it was it was bad when I was in the music, but at the end of the day, like it's the truth. It's my story, and you know I've grown to not do that anymore. And
I was
so
going to ask you. I mean, where are you now? Do you have you? You know, what I'm saying, have you changed? Because I still think you you don't cheating. Cheating is accountability. That's what it is. You
mhm,
know, and coming from somebody who was very I didn't have a conscience about it. I just looked at it like it's a human trait. It's not a human trait. It's not
Right.
something you should do, right? If you're in a relationship, you shouldn't cheat. I mean, really. And it's that easy, but we make
Yeah.
it harder than what it
Yeah.
is.
We do. We do. I think for me today, I'm in a way better position than I've ever been in life because
Mm,
I don't live for the for the for that. You know what I'm saying? Like like I got away from music altogether. Like I don't perform anymore. Like I write all the time. I got plenty of music that I could go into the studio and create another album, no problem. But I think once I stepped away from the limelight, I kind of got an idea how reality really should be. And so I have someone that I'm with, and that's it. I mean,
that's dope.
if it works, then great. If it doesn't, we tried. But I'm not putting myself out there for anybody, and trying to put myself in a position where I gotta worry about if I'm gonna get in trouble anymore. Like
Man, amen.
it's
Amen.
not it's just not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, I'm okay with being a one woman man. We ain't got much life left on this earth. So,
Bro,
do you want to
yeah.
spend it running and gunning
Hiding your
and
phone and doing all that. Nobody want to do all
yeah,
that.
or do you
It's
want to
just not
spend it
even.
with somebody that respects you, appreciates you for who you are, and is gonna ride with you, for the rest of your
Absolutely.
days. So that's kind of my thing, man. I'm good where I'm at.
Well, you sound at peace, and that's. I mean, I always say a man's other best friend is just having peace, man.
Yeah,
Having
absolutely, man.
that peace.
Once you realize that hiding
Oh
isn't
my goodness.
it's not an option. You ain't gotta have an option with hiding. You
Yeah,
just don't do it. There's nothing to
man.
hide. This is like I got my own. If there's somebody that I want to bring and be in my life and spend my time with, and they're gonna spend their time with me, then that's all that matters. If we agree that we are going to be around for each other and support each other through thick and thin, and that's what it is. Let's go. Let's do it. And so uh, that's what
I
I
could,
think.
bro. I'm there. And I think to me it is an age thing too because you reach a certain point in your life, you just like, man, this is more to life than this tug, right? Between,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely, absolutely.
fighting in a relationship or not fighting. I mean, if you don't want to do it, cool. Move, you know what I'm saying? Let's just cut our ties, move, and let me find, or you need to find whichever you're seeking. And it's all good.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, it's all good. I'm not gonna lose sleep. I'm not gonna get all
Yeah.
upset because it's life is just too short. It's
Yeah.
just too much going on.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying that the game isn't there. I mean,
Uh
the
oh.
options are still there, but
Oh,
it's all about
okay.
how you deal with them these days versus them days back in the day. Back in the day, I was like, homegirl would be hollering at me. My girl be sitting at the other table. Like she
Mm.
slide me her number. You know what I'm saying? Or my homeboy would slide me her number. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? Yeah, it
you had
was
the handler. You had the handler.
man, it was just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you perform with your best friends, and you guys are shutting down shows and and doing a
Hmm.
well job at it. Yeah, you always got somebody that got your back. And
Yeah.
so
No.
it's a great feeling when you don't have to hide no more. That's all I know. Like it's a great feeling when you can say no to temptation, because
Because
like
that's
you said,
to me that's being a man. No,
I've
it's
been
being
blessed.
that's being a man.
I've been blessed with a decent voice, and I sing a lot. I like to sing out at a go to the little spot, the karaoke spot, and sing a couple songs. And
Oh, you gotta let me know,
always
man. I
always
want to come.
always get
Yeah,
somebody that says you did a great job. And sometimes they may want more. I mean, but it's all about how you handle it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? If you say, "Hey, I'm
Man.
good, appreciate you," and keep it pushing, then you ain't got to worry about
Do you
any
give her
other
a hug though? Do you give her a hug
who give who
or
the
whoever?
female.
Yeah, do you give her a hug or you say no, man?
Uh, if I don't know her, then I don't give her a hug.
Oh,
If I don't know her, if it's somebody that I've known for a while, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm not gonna.
not a hugger.
Nah, that's just it gives them an idea that they had a chance. You know what I'm
Really? You
saying?
think so, huh?
I'm not just gonna hug no random person, especially with all this COVID and everything going
Uh,
around, man. Like
bro,
I
hey,
I give the pounds. That's we give pounds. We don't
I'm
give no
fine.
hug.
A beautiful woman, you're gonna give her a pound.
I'm gonna
All
give her
right,
a
I
pound.
feel that. That's
You know,
cool.
I mean, it's respect. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, I got a beautiful woman by my side. What I mean, hey, I don't need to, make her feel uncomfortable, especially if she's sitting right there and
nor
somebody
should
runs
you.
up on me.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been there and done that lots of times, bro. Like we're gonna get into that a whole nother time.
Well, when you come on Shop Culture, we are gonna. Hey,
Well,
I'm preparing you. You don't know.
well,
I'm actually.
I thought when you come on Shop Culture though, you don't bring your personal life into the conversation.
Listen, man. I don't talk about my life, but I like talking about other people. Like I'm nosy, and I'll ask anybody else. Hey, talk about you. You talk about me? Shoot, I'm
Yeah,
quiet. You don't
yeah,
know nothing.
yeah. I mean, I have no problem speaking my truth because I, I'm way past it. You know what I'm saying? I've made those decisions and those
Mhm.
choices, and I'm very, very comfortable with admitting to my faults. And it's like you said, it's called growth. You gotta, if you take those things and allow them to continue to control you, then it's winning. It's winning. But if you take those things that happen, those negatives, and turn them into positives, then you're winning. So
I, it took me years to know. I mean, it took me years in therapy to gain a sense of that
yeah.
understanding about self, and it's crazy how simple it sounds, but how difficult it is to execute because
Mm,
it's tough.
absolutely.
Admitting ugly truths about yourself and really being like, yeah, man, this is not good. And I'm taking this into another relationship and expecting that other person to fix me. That ain't gonna work.
Right. Absolutely.
And so,
Man.
anyways, kudos if you
Woo!
figured it out.
Bro, I got a story, and we're gonna talk about it when I come on Shop Culture. And I think I might have touched on it a little bit in one of my comments
All right,
when you
talk to me.
guys were live.
What is it?
I'm not gonna talk about it right now because it's
Oh, not at
deep.
all. Yeah, but
It's
you got to give
deep.
me just a teaser. You can't give me something.
Well, I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit just about relationships, and I mean, truth be told, I've never been in one that I didn't cheat on somebody. I've been on.
Still?
I
Wow.
mean, the one I'm with now is a product of something that I would consider it, an overlapping of relationships because I was with somebody.
Overlap.
I was with
Overlap is
somebody.
cheating, yeah.
I was with somebody when I met her, and
Uh,
so it's a complicated
oh, this is the one that me and you
situation.
talked about. I think the first time me and you talked, right? We had this conversation kind of. You gave me, okay, yeah,
A
that
little
was.
bit.
I was like, oh, this brother got some juicy here, man. And you
Stop it.
started off like,
No, but we good though, and that's the thing that at the end of the day, we good. We kind of have an understanding what we both want in a relationship, and it's just respect. I mean, I respect her for who she is. She respects me for who I am, and anything outside of that, we talk about and have a mutual conversation about, hey, if it's not working, then it's not working. If it's working, let's continue to build. You know what I'm saying? But we are at a place where we're on the same page, and that's
and
what's
that's key.
important, bro.
So it
You
sounds
know,
like you guys have these check-ins, and I actually, my boy, the producer Nick Jones, talked about that, and I thought that was just a brilliant idea in a relationship. Every, I think he was telling me every month or month and a half that they
mhm,
check in with one another
that's
to
good.
see if they still align because we evolve as individuals, even in relationships, and there's
Mm,
sometimes where we're just not aligning, and we have to make these choices of, hey, for the future, is this going to work out or is it not going to work out, and
right.
that's okay, and it should be okay. We should feel comfortable enough where we can have these type of discussions. And I think a lot of
Absolutely.
times people don't. I mean, they don't. They
That's
have
true.
discussions with me in the barbershop, but they don't have discussions with their mate.
Man, barbershop is the best place to talk. I mean,
Man,
I've been in plenty of barbershops where I end up stuck there hour and a half, 2 hours after I got a haircut,
oh my goodness,
having
bro.
conversations.
I mean,
You
when I get
know.
home, I almost have to decompress because, I mean, you just hear everything and anything. I mean,
Yeah.
and especially the more comfortable. I mean, honestly, I should write a tell like a tell book, a tell it all book. You know, it's just
Yeah.
crazy some of the stuff. And and I'd
Yeah.
be out like it's like I be out, and you go out and you see it play out, and it's
Yeah.
just crazy. It's
Yeah.
just, and I think that's why I try to always, kind of keep my life somewhat private. Is just
Yeah. Yeah.
because maybe because I know too much. It's hard. Like, and I got
Yeah.
these big teeth, and I like to talk, and it's like hard for me to kind of keep anything.
Hey man,
I
but
mean,
at
big
least
teeth are coming in too. I'm just telling you. What's
did
up?
you say big teeth is coming in?
They're coming in, bro.
You,
My
you
son was
heard it
like,
here
"Damn,
first.
Dad, you go,
You
Dad,
heard it here
Dad."
first, everybody. Big
Huh?
teeth is coming in 2022.
Like my son was like, "Dad, am I gonna have teeth like you?" I'm like, "Damn."
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, these things work. That's all that matters.
I said it
You
costs a
know?
lot of money, so you. Hey,
Anytime you ask women what are they looking for in a man, teeth is one of the things at the top of the list.
you think so? I've
Huh?
never heard. I've never heard that. The only time I heard that
What?
was on a pop
You've
culture
never
post.
heard that?
I only women say that like on a post, nice teeth, but when you're talking to them, they never say, "Hey, I like a man with nice teeth." It's not something that they really tell you to me one on one. They might say it in a
Yeah.
post to make it sound good,
Yeah.
but it's not. No, hell no. Women lying. Don't lie, women.
I heard that one before though. I
No,
definitely
okay.
heard that. Definitely heard it. I mean, teeth are important. I get-
Okay. And they might be. I'm just saying, is that one of the things women probably look at initially? I don't know. I'm just saying it sounds good.
well,
I had
from
a man tell me that. He's like, I look at
hey,
women's teeth. I was like, you
if
lying,
anybody
bro.
from Shopkulture is watching right now, I remember someone posted something about the criteria for their man, and gray sweats was at the top of the list.
Oh, I heard that a lot. I didn't even know about gray sweats until shop culture. Like I said, shop culture, you will learn a lot, about men and what men should have. Like when it comes to like, I never even know about the sweats. I
Yeah,
never knew that.
I wear sweats all day long. I never knew that
Are they
was a
gray?
thing.
Are they
I
gray?
wear all colors, bro. I wear all colors. I don't discriminate. I like all colors, but they're like gray sweat. They have to be gray sweats. I'm like,
They have to be
okay.
gray. Oh, you
Yeah, that's what they
okay? You
said.
trying to
Hey,
you
Carmen,
acting
what's
up,
up, Carmen? Do they have
Carmen?
to be gray sweats or can they be other color sweats?
Okay.
Obviously,
Wow.
probably just lighter color sweats is what they
Lighter
like.
color.
Yeah, just something.
Hey, when they say gray now, all of a sudden I went and got all the colors in sweats. I'm like, I'm trying to throw it all. Like what?
See, she said gray. She said
Oh
gray.
snap. Oh, snap.
A
And
gray
that's what
only.
when it comes to the group, it is, and I always say I take it for entertainment, but there are some truths that lies in there, right? I mean, and there's
Yeah,
some
for
things
sure.
that you can find out about the opposite sex that you really don't know, and it is a good indicator. Like, we were talking about this is actually one of the first posts I was talking about, like first dates, um, and it was
Becca,
just like
what's
the
up?
women were just saying all the stuff that, and no man got it right.
Yeah.
Like, man, we were thinking something totally different than women,
Mhm.
and it's just like that's what we were talking about. If you go through and all the mess in shop culture, but you start kind of just listening back and forth, you'll learn a lot.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
We don't know
Absolutely.
everything about each other. Even
So
sex
what
talk, we have a lot of sex talk, which is
hey Barry, what do you think is the best week? What was your topic? When you think about all the topics that you guys talked about, what's one topic that you will never ever forget having a conversation about?
oh my goodness.
Because I know you've had a lot. I know you've had a lot, but which one
Um,
always comes to mind? That it got heavy and there was a little bit
I
of
think and I'm not going to say no names on it, but it's always. I mean, it's always like anything when it has to deal with infidelity. It's just kind of one of those topics because it's such a divisive conversation, and it's never black and white on that conversation. There's always layers to it,
yeah,
and we've had talks about that. It has gotten like
heavy.
people name calling and dropping names, and and that's the thing when you create a platform. Those are some of the things that you have to you wear because, I mean, people bring your name into something. You're like, I didn't say anything like I agree or disagree. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
We are a platform. We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it, but it is a personalized subject. So infidelity is like the one, like bar none.
Hmm.
I mean, you talk about cheating, and that's just in anything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody has a different version of events, wherever the events might be, and they want when they discuss it, they have kind of this tunnel vision about their beliefs. You're not going to change. It's kind of like politics, You're not going to necessarily change it. So that yeah, oh, infidelity. So
that, that
don't
one
get
going
caught on shop culture because they will. I mean, whew,
they're gonna be all down
they're
your
gonna
throat.
eat you. They're gonna eat you, man. Like man, there's times I remember I got tore up, and I didn't have nothing to do with something, and I got tore up. I had relatives.
Yeah.
And that's why I said you never know what your reach is. I never thought, and maybe that's just my lack of just. I never looked at shop culture as I always see it kind of as the beginning stages, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's not. It reaches. And
Right.
I remember we had a situation, and Mike, I had relatives hit me up, from New York, Michigan, and they were just like saying, "I'm like, damn, this is crazy." So it does give you an indication about you do have to have some type of responsibility
Mm.
on some things, especially when it comes personalized,
Right.
because of that. It does, and people already have their minds made up sometimes with things, even if it's not true. And so you really kind of try to have to walk a straight line when it comes to stuff that you put out there. And I'm learning that. Um, you know, I'm still
Yeah,
learning, a work in
yeah.
progress on it because, again, growing platform. We do want to talk about things, and yeah,
That's cool. Carmen says shop culture's in Nigeria. That's
we
cool.
do. We have,
Yeah.
we have. Actually, I have a few people, and it was actually a lady. She actually hit me up from Nigeria and talked about she's sharing it with her friends, and she loves, the perspectives, and doesn't
Absolutely.
agree with, they always want to tell you when they don't agree with.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's far reaching. Um, and I think what I'm most excited about and I appreciate the most
Hmm.
is when you help create something, and you see it because it's still your baby. You know what I'm saying? It's like raising the child kind of. It's like you still want to keep your imprint on it, even when it's
Absolutely.
growing, because now you're seeing it move and people are taking over certain, they're posting more than I was, and it's just
Yeah, yeah.
it's such a unique situation.
Absolutely.
But you have to also learn to you gotta let people be on it, right? And you gotta kind of, okay, it's your turn, and you gotta share it. And it's kind of hard because sometimes it's not going in the direction that you wanted to,
Yeah,
but you have to be okay with that. And
absolutely.
that's what it is. And I'm excited. Like I said, I'm really excited because people have believed in me. Because I had, like I said, 2020 was a really rough year. 2021 was a really rough year, and I
Hmm.
wasn't even sure if we were going to continue shop culture.
Hmm.
I mean, just from a personal standpoint, I had a lot of loss with COVID. I had major surgery, and I just had a lot of personal stuff. And the only saving grace was kind of shop culture at the time. And it's like people kept on like, "Hey, man, you got to keep doing this, keep doing this, keep doing this," because I was done.
Yeah, yeah.
I was mentally just I was done with it because
Drained.
it's a weight. Um,
Yeah,
you know, you might seem like it doesn't bother you, but I mean, I take it like I take my haircuts, and I take it serious.
yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
I do, I try to be the best or do the best I can, and that's the same with shop culture. I try to be unbiased, and I really try to, saying, be intentional in what we put out. Now, some of the stuff is it's just going to be chatter, and we want the dialogue,
Yeah, yeah, for
and
sure.
we
For
have to be
sure.
okay. But it's hard,
Absolutely.
like I said, and I was kind of talking with you off air about it. I was like, because you're in the, I mean, you're doing it, just seeing how because
It's
I watch everybody. I always try to watch
it's
on
a
how they,
grind. It's a
huh?
grind, bro. You know what
It's
it
it's
is.
a
It's a
grind.
grind.
It is
Like
a grind. It is a
and
grind.
and the one thing that I have to say, man, I truly respect all of you guys. You got a team. You got a team. I have a team, but my team is very small, and sometimes my team is unavailable because they have obligations and priorities. They're kids. They have a lot of things that they do. So a lot of times you don't see my team because they're nowhere to be found. They're not here. Some days I'm just solo dolo. Like, but I've been very fortunate to have a couple people that are definitely down and willing to help anytime I need help. But this right here, this platform, this is me. You know,
Man, that's tremendous, bro.
nobody's creating anything for this platform but me. Anything you see is it's for the most part me. But
Wow, that's
the circle, there's more to the circle than just circle talk. This is just one
okay.
entity to what I do. You know, I'm busy. I'm very busy. In 2 weeks, I'm doing a show called One Love All Around the World. I'll be in
Yeah.
Miami. For anybody's wondering, if you guys want to watch, I'll be doing a show in Miami called One Love All Around the World. And it's going to be featuring artists all over the world that are going to perform. It's
Wow.
like an 8 hour event of performances from people all over the place. Yeah, I'm busy, bro. Like I'm blessed, but I'm busy. I'm very busy guy. You know, that's just one of the things that I'm doing. You know, like last year, I feed the community. I love feeding the community. I love get out there and you know, help the less fortunate. I'm all about that life. That's my heart. I breathe, eat, sleep, and breathe that. I've been homeless, and I know how hard it can be.
Wow.
So any opportunity I get to get out there and help, I do that at least 2-3 times a year. You know, I do backpack giveaways. Man, this is just one small entity of the things I like to do, and um,
Yo, we
I'm
gotta have. I want to join you on that because we want to do some outreach,
absolutely,
and we
absolutely,
definitely want
man.
to coordinate that so we can be a part of that subculture
Yeah,
family. Definitely, we want to be there and help the community because the community is so
absolutely,
important, especially these
absolutely,
times.
bro. Yes,
Um,
sir.
we want to be a part of that mission there. So that's
But
awesome.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. Besides all that other stuff, this right here and what you're doing, it has really ignited me and inspired me, and it pushes me to do better, feel better, know that it will get better. You know, there are trials and tribulations, ups and downs when in this thing called podcasting, creating something to get people to watch. It's always a journey, and like you said, I didn't realize you guys started a while ago. But what I see is nothing but growth, nothing but love, and I see it still moving and grooving, and I'm excited for where you guys are going, and I'm hoping that I get to that place too. You know,
Oh, you will, brother. And like I said, it's about team, and
yeah,
my team is strong, and I so appreciate. I don't know. I c- I could not do what you're doing. Being one person, I just couldn't do it, bro. I would be done.
no,
So I mean,
yeah,
shout out to you for doing that. And
yeah,
but I am so fortunate and blessed. And
yeah,
Nick Jones, the shutdown corner, the doc,
yeah,
Twan, RJ, the host. I mean,
absolutely,
Herb, the barber. Nicole Johnson. All these people have been a part of this, and Carmen, she's like, "Hey, I'm ready to do Shop Culture Supreme. Let's go, Coach." I'm like, "Hey,
I'm
run with
excited
it."
to watch it. It should be pretty interesting. I'm definitely gonna be listening to that one. That one's on Wednesdays, right?
It's gonna be on Monday.
Oh, Mondays. Mondays.
Monday.
Okay. Mondays I'll be off, so I'll be available to peep in with the
Yeah,
ladies and
we're gonna let the ladies. This is gonna be interesting.
yeah, yeah. Sit back and
Woo!
listen. All right.
I'm gonna try to be quiet, just be like, just be in the background. But
But I
I'm a
do let me
hands-on
give a
person,
huge
so
shout out to a couple people real quick.
yes.
Rebecca Kushi, Lynn Nesbitt, Aaron Dimitro. Those are my teammates. They got my back. They've helped me from the start to today. They've been there nonstop. If I need anything, they've always had my back. And so I'm not gonna say this is all me because I got a team that's got my back when I'm going through the hard times and I need somebody to talk to. All three of them ladies, they always been there for me. If I need somebody to, take care of my kid, my significant other, she got me. This wall, she created this wall for me. This was all her
Wow.
creation. I just did this part. The
Well,
rest of it
I need
is
to get.
all
See, you gonna make me go get a significant other
yeah.
now. See, I want to get one right. My
But,
wall. Look, I ain't got nothing. You can see it, man.
hey, hey, it looks good though. It looks like you're at the barber shop. You know
I'm
what I'm
at the
saying?
shop, man. Yeah.
And that's how it's supposed to look. You got to
Oh
be
man.
comfortable.
Oh man, it's
And
all
this
good.
is me. Like I got my kids, and she actually made this. Shout out to Erin. She made this
Oh, that's dope.
picture
Let me.
for me.
That's
She
guilty.
painted it herself. So Yeah,
Good
we do
job.
got people that have our back, but that
Absolutely, man.
we
It's
definitely
all
have
about
to be thankful for.
yeah.
And I'm thankful for you, man, because I seen a lot of things in what you guys are
Hold
doing.
on, let me turn on. I got my thing on. Hold on 1 second. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Sound like one of his clippers just started up
No,
on its
man,
own.
man, my air hose, man. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
I use that to blow off the hair, man. Greatest creation, the air
Yeah.
hose. Man. I'm telling you for getting off here. But anyways, yeah. So it goes off always at the wrong time, right? So
It's all good.
that's
I
all,
just
man.
I
I'm sorry
just
about
wanted
that,
to
bro.
tell you though, man, like keep doing what you're doing. I love it. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna keep supporting the whole team. Shout out to all the teammates that you have. You guys are all amazing. And I'm excited for this year and what you guys got to come. I will be checking out your ladies, Shop Culture
Shop
Supreme,
culture, yes.
on Monday
Lilani
in
and
2 weeks,
Julie
right?
Girl photography, man. Check her out.
Is
She's
it
doing
2
it
weeks
for us.
or next week?
You
Is
said
it two
what?
weeks? Is it 2 weeks or next week?
February 7th.
February 7th. That's
Yeah,
next week.
8
So
8 p.m.
next week we will be checking y'all out and supporting you guys 110%. And thank you guys so much for supporting me and supporting Barry for this interview. We are gonna go ahead and close up shop, man. We're gonna do it
Already,
again
man?
though.
Yeah, I was just getting.
You had easy. I did about 15-20 minutes.
I know,
I got all emotional over here about to
man. Hey,
cry.
I love it, man. It was great though, man. I enjoyed it. Once again, thank you for having me and
Yeah,
making this
absolutely, man.
possible. And I was telling you, this is my first one. I got two more kind of interviews, and I so appreciate how you went easy on me, man. It definitely,
I went light. I went light. I actually
man,
just jumped right in. I wasn't going to, but I figured, hey, let me just go light on him because he don't want to be in the front of the screen anyway. Let me
not
be
not at
nice.
all, man.
Let
Not
me
at
be
all.
nice. So, hey, thank you all so much for watching. So much. If you guys did not, go over to YouTube and hit our YouTube channel. All you gotta do is hit up Circle Talk. Make sure you guys subscribe and stay close. February is right around the corner. We got a whole new slew of performers and people that are doing amazing things in their communities all across the world. So, thank you so much for being here, Barry. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
So appreciate you,
Definitely
man.
inspiration to me and what I'm doing. You
I
know,
appreciate it,
I'm
man.
trying. I'm
Make sure
trying
you
to
got.
get. I'm trying to be you next year. I'm
No,
trying to be
man.
you.
Hey, you
Have
already
people
there. You
calling me
passed me,
every.
bro. You passed me.
So we're gonna close up shop, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you guys next week. Take care.
Shop
Peace.
culture. Shop
Shop
culture.
culture. Hey.